Yeah. Okay. Yep. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream for Fantasy Age. We're playing second edition. When we last left off, our team was in the process of going over to the area. I'm going to move everyone to that map now. Let me zoom out here. I'm way too zoomed in. There we go. That should be a bit better. A little bit more I need to zoom out. So how is everyone's week? Yeah. So now I know that Toki, you live in the same area we do. We had the 100-degree heats for the last several days. Were you able to survive that okay? Yeah, me and Jadzia have or Jenna have two air conditioners running in our apartment, so but not hearing us. Oh, I know what's going on. Hold on. Let me fix that. For some reason, it just doesn't keep saying all the time. Changing. Okay, let's go ahead and try this again. I'm going to keep an eye on volumes for a moment. So,
1, 2, 3.
Here you go. You're showing up on mine, so that should work now.
Keeping an ear out on the stream itself, and yep, coming through there. Awesome.
Excellent. Okay,
so now I can close out of that, and you can keep your secrets.
Hopefully. I'm actually working on something right now. One thing I do want to let you guys know is that I'm going to be changing up in this session on how experience is gained. Last session we did all at the end. This session is going to be after each encounter, whether it's a social encounter or whatever. Anytime there's some roles being done after the encounter, I will give out some XP. And we'll see from the group as a base on boats which you guys prefer, either encounter based or session based.
Okay.
And it's not going to be, based off of viewers or anything like that. I'm only going to be taking from you guys. So
yeah,
that
only player votes matter.
Yep, because it's all player based. So that's what really matters here. I'm just doing one last thing to get more people to watch. Let them know about it.
Yeah, publicizing stuff does help bring in viewers. Every now and then.
Yep. Give me one moment here.
Hey, it's not game night if there's not last minute prep.
Yeah. So, all right. So as I was saying, now that I got that all taken care of, we were just outside of the Arcane University, and we are at a good stopping point. So how do you guys want to work this out? Do you guys want to sort of rest the day considering it's midday, or do you guys want to start the journey?
Well, so for one thing, I can't remember, like at the very end, did we manage to secure an escort from the Arcane University?
So we were supposed to have beast mage type person to
Yes,
actually serve as kind of a subject expert.
Okay.
that is correct.
Yeah, and we have about a 2-day trek, right?
It's about a 2-day trek. A little bit over.
Yeah. We have a goblin that's going to lead us there, feed us as we go along.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that leaving, like, when you say midday, we're talking about, like, noonish?
Around that, yeah.
Okay. I think that if it's a 2-day trek, then probably now is as good a time as any to get going, because we don't necessarily want to be getting there, like, at night. And then this way, we would be arriving essentially around the same time,
Well,
Last few hours
it's
of
a
the journey
little
in the
bit
morning.
more than a 2-day journey.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I'm just
we should still
trying-
hopefully make it there before like night falls at it. And
Yeah.
it does sound like it's a little bit important to these people. So yes, we've had some stuff happen, but aside from a little bit of a chase and some serious discussion going on here, and I'd say we're probably all still fairly well rested.
Yeah.
I mean, none of us took any damage last time or anything.
No.
And we also had that rest in the tavern while we waited for them to, figure out the information for us from doing the research.
Mhm.
Yep. So you guys are fully rested and
Yeah,
ready to
let's
go
just hit the
whenever
road
you
then.
guys are.
I think we should just hit the road then.
Great.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull you guys back over to the overworld map. Jump into that. And then I'm going to zoom in myself to where the main area is that we have. That I'm mainly focused on. Still working on the rest of the map. But the majority, all of this campaign part is going to be taken into this area that I filled out. So, with that being said, you guys are at this city here, Treefus, and it's basically, he's going to be taking you through some side roads and stuff like that, so that you guys don't have to worry about much of fighting the main traffic going around.
Mhm.
And as he does that, and you guys get into midway before the bridge. So you encounter what looks like, let me actually pull this up. Is it that one? So I'm going to pull up this map here and zoom out.
Oh, that's a messy campsite.
Just a little. So offside the road, you see what looks like an abandoned campsite.
All right. Since I have scouting talent,
Uh-huh.
that means if I can try and make a perception check, and if I don't succeed, I get to re-roll. So I would like to try and start. I guess that's out, but that's actually if I'm doing tracking. I think perception and tracking. Sorry, but yes, I will try and look and see what's going on at this site.
Okay. Go ahead and do that perception roll.
I mean, should we all do perception?
I mean, if you want to, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely looks like something happened here. So we'll go ahead and help actually search around specifically, dig into things as necessary.
Not open any.
Man, wasting my good rolls again.
Okay,
I got
let's see. Dang. 21 from let's see, a 10 and a 14. Pull up one last thing here. Trade myself something new. Help me out. with because there's so many what was it?
Wow. Why didn't it mark that John would have gotten 6 stunt points, shouldn't he? Because he got a doubles in there.
Yeah, it marked
Yeah,
that
it
did mark it.
Oh, sorry, I didn't have a thing pulled down far enough to see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Roll 20 uses up a fair amount of screen space.
Yeah.
And I'd say for this, I'm going to toss in insight and 3 points over into wariness.
Okay. One more moment here.
Mm-hmm.
Accidentally opened up what I was looking for in Paint instead of Photos. I made myself a thing for all the tables that I need.
Oh, you got your cheat sheet put together.
Yes, I did.
Nice.
It's just really long in width. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, you basically all succeed. And so, Joanna, since you got the most step points, you said you were using yours on what?
So actually, I can't revise what I said earlier on there. So I'm going to use a 3 for extra information, 2 for insight, and 1 wariness.
One wearing. Okay. So,
Yeah, so if there's negative events popping up, I'll get a +1 on that.
and that's all in the explore, right?
Yeah, all basic exploration.
As much. I love how many stunt tables there are in this new version.
Mm.
I like the direction that they're going with this.
Yeah, and this hasn't even gotten into the special class ones yet. That should get interesting.
Okay, so you want to be more alert to anything happening.
Yeah, so if something nasty is coming, to get a +1 to the next test to avoid negative reactions. Then extra piece of information regarding this,
Okay.
and +1 to a follow-up action.
Dang. Okay, and so are you Billy, you have 1 point. What do you want to spend that point on?
I'll spend my 1 point on wariness.
Awareness. So that's going to give you +1 to the next thing. So,
And since I generated an extra 1, I'll give that over to Toki. So
okay, so Toki, what do you want to use your 1 for?
Awareness is apparently the only thing, unless I would just want to pass it around again.
Yeah.
So let's put on awareness.
So we're not playing hot potato here, right?
Yeah, no, I'm the only one that gets to give
so
out
it's
extra ones.
So what you guys notice is that the camp has a bunch of animal tracks in it. There's a lot of blood that's spilt all over the place that you can see. The tent area was all ripped up, and there's actually a lot of blood in there. Some bodies are in there. You see some human tracks running off. You see another track of steps every so often, but mainly a drag of a body being dragged off in a northwestern direction. So
Northwestern. So is this the way we came from then?
So yeah, it's basically the way you came. Writing this off. So the way you came was this direction, but you're seeing a trail through the woods along here.
Okay. And are we able to determine based on the footprints, is there anything distinct about them, like what type of creature it might be
So you can't.
that is doing the dragging?
You can't,
Okay.
but Jadzia Joanna, because they got the extra information, you're able to see that it's a bunch of different animal footprints, different sizes, different creatures, different amounts of toes and paw prints and stuff like that.
All right. So is natural creatures involved in dragging away the body?
Yeah, I'd say it
From,
looks like
from
there
what
was
you can tell, it's only natural creatures. There's no actual regular footprints going along that path that dragged the body.
Okay. Looking at the tent. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay. So while
so we have a
since he's
Go on.
away, is there anything you two want to do?
I was also actually going to take a quick look in the tent, but being ready in case there's anything still lingering in there.
Yeah, all you see is just dead bodies, packs, rations strewn around, and some odds of equipment.
okay. So
well, we can come
rations are
back
strewn around. So they weren't, because if this was, given the variety and given the circumstances we know on here, I think it's safe to say this was a directed attack. Since if they were just hungry, they would have grabbed the food as well. I know trail rations are bad,
Well, and also
they're still edible, and
you don't normally see multiple different types of animals coordinating in a single attack. It'd be one thing if it was like, oh, there's 5 wolves, but like a wolf
Exactly.
and some other kind of thing coordinating that's unnatural. So
yeah,
I
this
probably
is,
agree with you basically. Whether or not it was targeted as far as like these specific people were targeted, rather than it's just the animals being directed to just wreak havoc on whoever, I don't know, but.
yeah. So I'm actually going to follow up over on.
Special about these people.
Yeah, I'm going to follow up on that front. Check the bodies for any sort of identification, see if they're affiliated with anyone, or if this was just a really unlucky pack of random travelers.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You're just seeing that it's just random people. They're not soldiers. They don't have any nation marks.
No guild affiliations, nothing like that. So it's
Nothing
like this
like that.
probably isn't one of the hunting parties that the Mages Guild sent out.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least if they are, they weren't a really well coordinated one.
Yeah. All you can tell is they're different races. At least the few that are there.
Mm.
Mhm. So, and we definitely need to follow that dragging trail, but I wonder if we should wait for Billy to get back first.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes,
In which case, I suppose we could just go ahead and start looting stuff. Oh, so everybody's dead, by the way, right? Like you
Yes.
checked and like there's no survivors.
No survivors.
Now, are their bodies like just generally mangled, or does it look like is it just like, oh nope, everybody strictly had their throats cut or torn out or something? Is there anything that looks separate from just like, nope, general mauling?
So yeah, it's got some mauling, different bite marks of different sizes. Some of them it's from the neck, others it's other areas and stuff like that. So you're not seeing that the bodies have been eaten, you're just seeing a bunch of bite marks, and the major ones are for areas that would cause people to die. But each body looks like it was attacked by multiple creatures.
Mm-hmm.
I guess some more sort of like attacked with purpose on there. Like these, I guess not just, okay, here's a critter, it's lashing out. Here's a critter, it is trying to kill you.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and cast speak with the dead on. Is there anybody who? And is there any way to determine like who may have been like leading this group? Like if there's someone just older or bigger, or
Yeah, if I kind of try and point out whoever was wealthiest among it there, because
So
kind of close quality stuff like that.
yeah, so as far as it goes with that, so I want you both to roll perceptions for what you're trying to do. So, Tookie, you're trying to determine who could possibly be a leader or more wiser of the group, and Joanna, you're trying to what was it to figure out?
So
again?
basically, my assumption is whoever was probably the richest was probably the one in charge of the group.
Okay,
because,
so you're trying to figure out the wealthiest by examining their goods and stuff like that. Do a roll for that for me.
Okay, just straight perception on this one, or would
Yep.
searching apply, you think?
You can do a search.
Okay. And then we'll manually add a +1 onto this as the follow-up roll from before there. 16. And another 5
16
stun points.
and a 14. So, with that being said, I'm always going to go with the higher roll first, and then the second roll. So, Joanna, you, for the most part, they all look very sort of mid-tier level of society, and the wealthiest person that you can see sort of has a like a silver amulet around their neck.
Mm.
That's the only other distinguish from all the others. All the others, their rings are like, basic metal rings and stuff like that. They have bracelets on. It's all carved out like bone or wood, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I actually
Yeah,
have the evaluation focus for intelligence. Can I determine how much that roughly how much that amulet is worth?
you can, but let me get through your first roll here. Okay. Let's take this one.
Sorry, I didn't actually. Sorry, I didn't actually mean to make that roll. My trackpad's kind of.
But okay, but that's evaluation. We'll go ahead and keep that one if you want, or we can do a reroll. I'll let you decide.
It's I'm fine either way.
Okay, so with your 13, and then let's finish up with Joanna, since you have the 5 stunt points. How do you want to use those 5 stunt points?
I'll go toss 2 on efficiency, and I'm keeping 3 on wariness then. So it takes about half the time to pick this one out, get a bonus initiative if something pops up in this encounter, and more for keeping an eye out if something's going to jump us, because a little bit spooked at the moment here, but still point out that this might be the person to talk to if you want whoever was in charge, Toki.
Okay. And so, Toki, with your first roll, you notice that the same person is sort of, of the oldest of them. And how do you want to spend your 2 stunt points from your perception roll?
I mean, if I can use insight to get a bonus on that evaluation roll, that's cool. I don't know how
so
logically
you want to
follows.
get more insight on the person that looks like they're the leader, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if we want to say specifically to the amulet, that's fine too.
So the way I'm going to run this is wherever you do the roll on that you're trying to do the roll on, the stunt points have to be used for that condition alone. So you were looking at just figuring out who the leader is. So the stunt points are used for that. I don't want to transfer them over to what someone else found. That's how I'm going to run that kind of thing in the future. And so with that being said, you noticed that the insight is that they are a bit more well-groomed and well-kept. Their hands aren't as hard-worked or as worn as the others. And that they're sort of... How can I put this? I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to phrase this to get this right. Their body is more crumpled up in fear in sort of like the fetal position compared to everyone else.
Okay.
And that's what you get. Now, you want to do an evaluation roll on the silver pendant, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to keep that roll that you did, or do you want to do a re-roll?
That's fine either way. Whatever you think is fair.
Okay. Well, either way is fair, because you mentioned the roll first, and then you accidentally hit, but it was the same thing you were wanting to do. So I'm willing to keep that roll. I was just saying, hold on a moment, we're going to go in the order of things. So, okay, so we'll keep this one, because I think it's the fairest. And while we're here, we do have Sticky, who is a longtime viewer of the channel. He's very excited to see traditional pen and paper on this, and he's very pleased with that. Just to let you know, Sticky, a lot of comments aren't going to be read during gameplay. We're mainly focusing on the gameplay, and then after we're doing sort of like the calm down, we'll react to comments and stuff like that, along with the warm up of, like, you know, just getting started. We'll also read some comments, but in the main play of it, we're not going to be reacting much, but you can make comments and we'll sort of go over them afterwards. But anyways, going back to what Toki was doing. So you're examining the silver pendant. It looks to be a sort of like a sort of like a brand of some type. And you notice that it's been really well carved and chiseled, and precious time has been made into creating this. And that would be it'd be, you know, high middle class, low high class area.
But I mean, what I mean is there? Can I get an estimate of, like, essentially like how many silver pieces it would be worth? Or
so silver pieces, it would be probably about, I'd say, 80 silver pieces.
Okay.
Just because you can tell by the decoration done on it.
Okay. And using my stun points, I'd like to spend I'd like to do extra information to see if I can determine any cultural or religious relevancy or symbolism to the to it, or is it just like, hey, I'm a fancy boy with some nice jewelry, or does it have like some kind of greater significance?
So the greater significance from it is you can tell it comes from a merchant's side of traders.
Okay.
And that emblem you've seen around in some cities at merchant stalls and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. Is Billy back yet? I don't know how long we can put off, like, following that drag trail.
Say that again?
I said Billy's here.
Okay, excellent. Billy is here. Okay.
All right, cool. Let's go.
Let's let
Let's
Billy
go
do
ahead
what
and,
you were going to do before you
Oh,
had to
that's
go.
true. Very true.
All right. Well, they already looked at the campsite and the people here. Are they human or are they another race?
It's a mix of races.
It's a mix of races. Okay. But I figure out since Jana and Toki are looking through the campsite, I will take the guard role and place myself along the path leading away on the drag marks.
Mhm.
So in case anything tries to surprise us, I'm kind of keeping watch.
Okay. Sounds good. So I know that Toki, you were going to do speak to the dead. You mentioned, and you
Yeah,
were trying to figure out
that's
who to do that to. So who would you like to do that to?
The dude with the amulet.
Dude with the
Or
amulet.
the pendant.
Okay, so the dude with the amulet. Go and go ahead and do your roll.
Okay, so this is okay. Go.
Ooh, 15.
So the target number is what I need to.
Oh, the target number. Yeah, target number is what you need to. So you rolled an 11. How do you want to handle this situation? So there's two ways that this can happen. You can either let it fail and you spend half of the mana points or power points and nothing happens, or you can spend more mana points and make it succeed.
And as far as spending more mana points, is that just like I would need to spend 4 additional mana points to hit the target number, or would I need to roll again?
You just need to spend the 4 mana points to push through.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
it's your game
basically-
that fills full cost and additional to make up the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then real quick, because again, new to this, do we basically just recoup MP during rests?
Yes. Based on how much you rest, it determines how much you recoup. So it's not like, oh, we rest and you're back to full. No, if you do a light rest, you get a little bit back. If you do a full rest, you get everything back, and there's variance in there.
All right, I am just going to let it fail, because that to push it to succeed, that would drain most of my magic. So I'm
Okay.
just going to call it good.
I was so hoping it was going to succeed. I wanted to try a new voice. Darn! The one time it failed, I was all excited. All right.
Oh, well. I'm sure we'll talk to a dead person again soon. Might just have to make them in the first place.
We see where Joanna's whole entire mind thought process is on this whole entire thing.
Now, that was Savvy's mind process. John is kind of just...
Yep. So, Billy, you hear some screaming in this bush right here, this big bush right here. What do you do?
Well, I first of all see if I can take a defensive position, by a nearby tree or bush or whatever, so I have some cover,
Mm-hmm.
and self roll to get myself a advantage if I need to take a strike at somebody.
Okay.
And after that, I will try and observe. So.
All right. I want you to roll the stealth.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. I need to do the rolling for you, don't I?
I can do it now.
Oh, you got it figured out?
Yep.
Stealth. 17. Okay, you succeed.
All right. Even if I had failed, I have gotten a second shot at it. So
Okay, and things quiet down. So it's gone silent again for you.
All right, I will observe that. But as I said, I've got my staff sling ready, and I'm watching for any sort of action to come from that bush or whatever. Okay.
Okay, and so Joanna and Toki, what do you guys want to do?
As far as the way that, well, I don't know. I suppose I should probably not just try to arcane blast the bush, but should we just post up somewhere and try to call out to see if just to make sure it's not an intelligent creature?
Well, you guys haven't noticed that because you're not in that area. You're about, I'd say, a good 50 feet away.
Okay.
So because Billy is probably like right here, and then you guys are still here in the tent. So you guys couldn't see anything. You couldn't see, especially since Billy made the really good stunt roll. You don't even know where Billy is exactly. You just know that you saw him walking over into this area. Oops. Cancel. You just saw him walking over into this area.
Okay.
And Jana's focusing more on the whole ritual here, and even if it fuzzed out, it's kind of the so why do you think you weren't able to reach the spirit? I mean, was it not an attunement or and just kind of nerding out over something. She's actually got one of her bits of paper and pencil out and taking notes about it all. So she's not focused outside at all right now, despite the fact that she's got the wariness going.
Now, was that a question you were asking to Toki?
Yeah, I was just in character rambling and
yeah. Basically, I just shrug and say, "Yeah, I don't know. I'm still relatively new to this. It doesn't work all the time."
Understandable. Everything's a learning experience every new day. This level constellation pat.
Yeah, I don't know. At this point, I'd probably come out of the out of the tent and look around.
Okay. So you come out of the tent. The exit area is here, and where you want to look around.
I just kind of want to look up the drag path basically and see if I can spot anything.
Okay, so the drag path basically. Here, let me draw. Like this, you're gonna see a yellow line. Drag path goes here, and like so.
Okay, but then there's but there's a rustling in the bush, but the
but you didn't hear that. You guys were too focused in the tent. The only one that heard it was Billy. So Billy is the only one that can react or do anything about that bush. You guys don't even know about it. You guys, when you came out here and started looking at the path, you have yet to see Billy hiding behind the tree.
Okay.
Yeah, so get out of there. Jana finally gets focused back in the moment here rather than the whole scholastic side of things. And like, oh yeah, this is an attack side. So she kind of, that was mentally, then she just pulls out the crossbow, keeps it, not like up and aiming at anything, but loads it, keeps it ready, and gestures over towards the path. Like, you probably see which poor soul got dragged off, and if they're still alive, what we might be able to do for them.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so you guys start following the drag path?
Yep.
Yeah, and also there's a look around of Billy. You
All
Where
right.
are you?
Do I see them moving along towards this area?
Yeah, you can see them. They have not spotted you yet because you're using your stealth.
All right. I will try and communicate quietly with, like, put my hand up to try and so they can see that I've put my hand up and just trying to mark that they should be quiet, not
Okay.
be rambling along.
All right. So I need both Joanna and Toki to make perception checks.
What is with these stunt dice?
Okay, so we have a 12 and a 16. Okay, so Toki, you notice nothing.
Okay.
Joanna, you notice him, and what is it with you rolling constant sixes for your stunts?
I have no idea. I'm going to be camping on this page of the book here, just find out what to spend it all on. I guess 4 into ready for action and 2 more onto wariness.
Okay. And anything, what else? What regular actions do you guys want to take? Or should I say, Joanna, what regular action do you want to take? Since you've noticed this.
It's going to kind of hits a bit over at Toki and like grab a shoulder with my offhand, like stop him from going forwards, and then like kind of tug and not jerk the head over towards where Billy is.
Okay. Right. So you notice him sort of pointing his head over a direction. What do you do?
Okay, at that point, am I able to see Billy's hand to kind of see what John is pointing me toward?
Do you look at the direction that that Joanna is nodding?
Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, you're seeing Billy there putting his hand up on, putting a hand up on his lips, sort of like be quiet, and
All right. I've got their attention. I'm also going to point my fingers at first at my eyes and then point out and towards the bush that I'm focused on at the moment, so they know where to be looking.
Okay. And so that leads back to you, you two, Toki and Joanna. What do you guys do with this information that Billy has given you guys?
You go ahead.
I mean, I'd probably want to try to, stealth forward, relatively just trying to keep quiet to essentially get within range of Arcane Blast, just so I can, if something comes out of it, I can immediately just unload on them.
Okay. And so where do you want to stealth over to?
Probably use some tokens on the map for this.
Oh, yes. Let me pull out some tokens. So what we're going to do here. So Billy. Why didn't there we go. This is Billy right here. Done the wrong thing. Toki is there. But come on. Oh, there it goes. It's just a delay. So there's the tokens.
Okay, I probably would just try to sneak up behind the smaller bush that's directly in front of me to try to use it as some amount of cover. And but is that within range? Is that within 16 yards?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if I can click on this to, or if can I drag my own guy? Oh yeah, I can. Cool. Basically something like this.
Yep.
Oops.
You're good.
Oh, okay. It's just not showing the grid.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that
I
out
mean,
now.
okay.
There you
Don't
go.
know what these different
Now we'll
color
show the
buttons
grid. For some
mean.
reason, I didn't have the map on the map layer. I thought I'd put all of them on map layer. That was my fault.
Okay.
But now you guys should be able to see the grid.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's faint, but it's there.
Yeah, it's giving me these weird token setting things that I don't know how to dismiss now. Whoops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you just click off of the token.
No, I am doing that, and it's not dismissing. Oh, there we go. I wasn't. I had to click on the map.
Yeah.
In the off space aside them. Okay.
All right.
And apparently I can't actually select mine. Oh well.
And so I need you, Token, you said you wanted to stealth over there?
Yeah.
Do a stealth roll for me.
Do I have a bonus on that?
Okay. Successful. What do you want to do with that stunt points?
So at this point, would this be considered still exploration?
Yes.
For the stunt. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna be ready for action.
And you may have muted there. I couldn't hear if you were saying something.
Okay, so now I was
There
just scrolling myself over to there.
All right.
So you're wanting to do the awareness.
The ready for action.
Oh, ready for action. Yeah, ready for action. Okay, got that. And then, Joanne, what do you want to do?
Okay, so John is actually going to properly shoulder and aim her crossbow over towards the bush, and she's going to, slowly, carefully start working her way forwards as well. And I move my token up to basically just southwest, except I can't select it for whatever reason.
Let me check settings on your character here.
We'll get it all working soon enough.
Edit. That can be edited. Okay. Cancel that. Let's check your token itself. On the token layer, you should be able to access it and move it around. Let me check one last thing. Jam notes. Okay, I'm not seeing anything in there. Oh, okay, so I'll go ahead and move you where you want to move. Ping to where you want to move. Right there?
Yep.
Okay, you just slowly move up there. You don't want to try to do any kind of...
I mean, gonna try and be stealthy, but it's not.
Okay, so
Something
go
she's especially
ahead
great at.
and... You were successful.
Hey,
But unfortunately no stunt points, so I think that's the first time you've made a roll without
Yeah.
stunt points.
today at least.
Yeah. So you guys still hear nothing from that bush when you guys made all that move.
I'm just essentially look back at Billy and kind of give the shrug like.
All right.
So
Billy is going to use just an ordinary stone in his sling rather than a good lead bullet. So I'm just using ordinary stone, and I'm just going to try and fire it at the trunk to rattle the bush and see if I can get anything to react.
Okay. So let's go ahead and so you're wanting to aim specifically for the trunk of the bush.
Yeah. So let's just say I'm trying to generate some stunt points.
Yeah.
Combat.
So what I want you to do is do an attack roll.
All right.
Nice.
Holy crap, you hit it!
Nice.
Not only that, I did a triple so I generated 4 stunt points when I was trying to generate stunt points. So
Yeah.
I get bonus stunt points or what?
So you got four stunt points. And what do you want to use those stunt points on? Do you have the list, or do you need me to read off what you can do?
I'm looking at it.
Okay.
I don't need to seize the initiative, I don't think, because I'm already in situation. So, I can spend, all right, 1 point to rapid reload my sling with a lead shot in case I need it.
Okay.
I'll put the other 3 into defensive stance to give me a +4 to my defense until the beginning of the next turn, since I'm giving up my my stealth by making this attack. So I'm just going to be ready in case whoever's comes charging at me. Okay.
Okay. You hear some scurrying a ramp. I want you all to make a perception hearing test. And if you have perception sight, I will allow perception sight. Now, 12, 15. Our need for that. Okay. So I'm going to go highest number first and work my way down. Toki, you, besides hearing the scrambling around, you slightly hear, oh my god, and you see some actual like body movement of sort of like what looks like someone sort of crawling around in the bushes.
Like a person.
Exactly. Billy, you hear the oh my god as the person's rumbling around.
All right. So not an animal, and since we're believing animals attacked the campsite, not our primary target.
Yes, but I got one more person to talk to who has stunt points. And Joanna, you see a faint outline of something in the bushes moving around. And you have 4 stunt points.
Well, I mean, since I know there's something there, but I don't know what, and no one's saying anything. I'm just going to kind of firm up my aim, but I'm not shooting until I know what's actually happening.
Okay. But what? So you're just playing more. Where are you spending those 4 stamp points in?
Uh, I don't know. If we're counting this as both kind of mixed combat and exploration, I suppose we kick him over into defensive stance.
Defensive
And
stance.
then- Yeah, and assign the other one to boost and call that the aim on it there.
Okay. That sounds good. So, who wants to take the next action?
And I'm under the impression that this is a survivor, so I'm just going to call out to the group like, "Oh, it's a survivor," and then yell to the survivor like, "Identify yourself."
Okay. You see this little gnome girl come running out of the bush. Thank God you're here. Thank God you're here.
Does she appear to be injured?
She has some scrapes on her, but nothing that looks like it was from the animals. It all looks like from being in the bush. It's very, very minor, superficial scrapes.
Okay. Just ask her what happened.
Yeah, and as I can see that there's a gnome girl coming out, it's kind of like almost like the crossbow is on fire with how fast Jana just aims it away and like can makes it so that she's not actually presenting a threat to the person that's now running at them. It's like disengaging from ready, all that.
Okay. Anyone else want to take action before I respond to Toki?
At this point, I'm just going to be relaxing a little bit and shifting back to, again, going on to guard duty because I figure this is a talking situation and I figure that Joanna is far better at talking and Toki seems to be already doing some talking. So that's what they do. I do guard and I do shooting. So
Okay.
I'll relax.
So Toki, you asked that question of what happened, and she responds back with, a bunch of creatures came out from the woods and attacked my party. We were heading to the city to sell some goods, and they just all came out. There were bears and wolves and rats and bats and boars all at once, and they had these purple glowing eyes. And they killed everyone and were dragging people away, and others were fleeing. And I basically, ran and hid at the beginning of the attack and basically hid in that bush.
You know, if anyone else made it out.
Well, there were several that made it out. Some ran south, southwest, some ran northwest. They ran in all sorts of different directions.
Okay. Well, I think basically we need to essentially bring her back to. When you say a gnome girl, are you talking about like a child?
Yes, we're talking a gnome child.
Okay. So maybe we don't want to like traumatize her by like bringing her back to show her all the dead bodies, but we need to probably get a count on the number of people that were initially in the party, so we can determine the number of people who are dead and who had fled. And also ask, since the dragging appeared to be right by her hiding spot, if she knows who got dragged. I'm essentially saying this to the group,
Okay. So
yeah, so I guess so is that like asking directly to the girl or basically kind of consulting to us for what we need to do?
Consulting to you guys, just saying like, yeah, we don't need to show her, the bodies or whatever, but we need we need to count because we might have to try to round these people up basically, and we also need to find out the time frame when this happened because we need to know how far they would have gotten.
Yeah, so Jana will kind of shift over towards taking point and kind of reassure her, calm her down, let her know that, okay, we're adventurers from the city, we're looking into this, we're here to help, and then kind of, and get these requests for information in while trying to make sure that she's not not going to be more horrified by the whole thing than she absolutely has to be.
Mm-hmm. So, how are you going to handle this situation of the two things? Because you're wanting to do two tasks. You want to take a body count and try to find the people, and you're wanting not to traumatize the girl and send her back to the sea.
Yeah, so John will basically stay with the girl kind of out of sight of the carnage there and to try and gently pump her for information that we need.
Okay.
And Toki and or Billy can kind of tally up the bodies and make sure we've got the right number of parts and everything there.
Okay.
And coordinate after.
Okay, and real quick, I could use a quick bathroom break. I don't know if you guys want to take a quick 5.
Yeah, we can take a quick 5.
Okay.
And then we'll be right back.
All right, sounds good. Be right back. Yep.
Okay, we are back. And so the plan is that Joanna, you're going to be staying with the child, and then it leaves the other two to go check out the camp and stuff like that, and do the body count. So who's going to go do the body count?
I can do that.
Okay, and Billy, what do you want to do?
They're counting bodies and doing things like that. As I said, I'm still trying to keep watch in case of problems or trouble coming out of the woods around us.
Okay, so you're gonna stay there and keep guard.
Yeah, particularly focused on things we're dragged away from.
Okay, so what do you want to do first, Toki? Do you want to do the body count, or do you want to sort of survey the camp a bit more?
So I mean, probably just count bodies at first.
Okay. So
people.
The only bodies are in the tent.
Okay. And how many are there?
There is a total of 3.
Okay. Yeah, that's the main thing. I want to find out how many people are, safely, like, or at least as far as we can tell, how many people are unaccounted for. So we've got the girl, 3 dead bodies, and then whoever else ran away. So I basically probably just wait for, sure, I can look around, see if anything else interesting catches my eye. But like aside from that, I'm just waiting for the news back from Jonna about if people were in the party.
Okay, and so Joanna,
it also occurs to me, what have the farmer and our mage assistant been up to this whole time?
They've just been sort of hanging out at the camp and been on guard.
Okay. All right. Anyway, you were asking.
So what do you do, Joanna?
Well, like I said, it's going through just kind of mixing kind of 2 to 1 out there, just reassuring the kid and asking for information like about how many people, any other details she might be able to remember, how many ran off, how many like numbers, kind of any sort of identification about the people, like, oh, this person was the smith, this person was the guard, blah blah, stuff like that. Get her talking and keep her calm.
Okay, and she goes, well, our group was of 10. Our families are merchants, and so we mainly retail in selling different odds and ends. And our family likes to buy low, sell high, and they all ran in different directions except for the one that I saw being dragged off in the northeast direction. And I couldn't see where everyone went because I was too scared and too worried to do anything.
And she said northeast. Was she pointing
or northwest?
That away? Oh, okay. I was good.
Sorry.
All right.
My bad directions.
Okay. All right. Question retracted.
He's talking more along. Helps if I have the right. Talking more along this trail here.
Okay, so no one was really a fighter or caravan guard. Everyone was just parts of the family just working.
She says that we're very used to taking this route, and the reason we take this route is it's a quicker way to get around the main bustle and hustle, because their family kept on getting pickpocketed along the main route. with it being so busy. So they found this route and decided to take this route. And then, while they were camping, this is when this all took place.
That's it. And just more reassurances of, we'll find everyone we can. We'll get things settled, and we'll make sure that all of you can at least get to the city and hopefully be safe. She's not quite used to dealing with kids, so isn't quite as reassuring as she probably could be on here. This is a tiny bit out of her regular wheelhouse.
Yeah. Toki, I want you to make a perception hearing test roll.
Character sheet. And real quick, sorry, did the girl say how long ago this attack happened?
14. Yes. So Joanna knows, but you don't because you're too far away to hear it because she's saying things very quietly. It happened yesterday in the morning.
Oh, so she's been hiding for a whole day.
Uh-huh.
Wow, okay.
Okay, with that, definitely share some rations, share some water.
Yeah.
Yeah, part of the keeping her settled sort of thing.
Of course, she quickly grabs the food and scarfs it down and drinks the water and thanks you. So Toki, the bag. Are you facing? What direction are you facing?
Essentially, character sheet. Wish I could have that on a separate tab more easily.
Are you facing north towards the towns? Facing south?
I'd probably be facing mostly just kind of surveying. Just looking around the campsite to see if anything else. I figure other people are on guard, so I'm just looking to see if maybe there's anything strewn upon the ground that of any significance. That
backpack that's between you and the tent, you're hearing a little bit of noise from it.
Okay. I'm going to what kind of noise am I hearing? Like a rustling or?
Yeah, you're just hearing some rustling, some very light rustling.
Okay.
You almost didn't notice it.
Okay, I am going to grab that backpack and take it over, not directly. I'm going to just essentially move it to where the gnome girl can see it and say, and point to it and say, y'all got any pets?
She goes, yes, I have a pet weasel.
Is it in this bag? Is this your bag?
Yes. Okay.
I'm still mildly concerned that the weasel may have been influenced by whatever magic thing, so I'm going to take the bag back around to where she cannot see it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I am going to have my arcane focus ready, and I'm going to essentially try to flip open the bag.
John will kind of gesture over towards our beast mage specialist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
Kind of point between him and the bag, and
I'd probably wave that person over as well, just in case.
So the beast mage comes over to where you are, Toki, and stands next to you.
Okay, I'm going to say, apparently there's a weasel in this bag. I don't know if it is, possessed by whatever magical influence. So get ready. I'm about to open this thing up. If it's eyes are purple, I might have to blast it. But if you can do anything about it, then just basically wait to see if he reacts or tells me to not open it.
He nods at you. He goes, "I am sensing something in there. Hold off on blasting it. I can see if I can try to calm it down." Okay, so you open up the pack. And when you open up the pack, there's a bunch of stuff in there. You know, you see some kids' toys and some other stuff and some clothes and scurrying around. You see this little weasel head sort of pop up and look around.
Are its eyes purple?
No.
That was my main concern.
Understandable.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Can the beast mage talk to the weasel?
You want the beast mage to talk to the weasel?
Yeah, because perhaps the weasel would at least have some kind of insight if it like felt anything off when the other animals came through. I don't know. Leave it up to the beast mage to.
Okay. So the beast mage goes, all I can really do right now is sense pets or sense animals. I'm still in my training. I'm learning mainly the lore right now and the understanding of different animals and how they act and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason I'm along, is to give you guys knowledge of animals and to help you out with that.
Okay. Yeah, at that point, I just call out weasel's fine, and then basically just put him back in the bag.
Yeah, so just kind of call back. All right, bring him over.
Yeah, I'll take the bag over. I'll take the bag over to the gnome girl.
Okay, so as you put the weasel back in the bag, the weasel jumps out, jumps onto you. Let me do a roll here. Give me a moment here. Have that set up right here. Let load up here. There we go. Need going to do a roll here. There we go. So it jumps out of its bag, jumps onto you, and it goes. So your necklace that you have for your arcane focus, is that tucked in your shirt or is outside of your shirt?
Well, I also have a cloak, so it would probably be outside of the shirt, but also the cloak I probably would put the cloak on after that. So I mean, if he's just going to try to gnaw at the string, he could probably get to the string, but yeah, it might be a little more difficult if you were trying to remove it normally because of the cloak. But yeah.
Okay, so here. What kind of string is it? Just regular string?
No, probably like a leather, like a
like a leather strap.
Yeah, like a leather strap, but like a strap that's it's probably just like this little square kind of piece, like a cross section of it would be a square essentially. Just like a very thin, like probably eighth to a quarter of an inch strap in each direction. But as far as the width and the height, but then the length would be obviously longer, so it could be tied up. And then the pouch should be like a leather pouch.
Okay, so it basically jumps on you and it goes to grab the necklace, and it's sitting there sort of gnawing on the leather strap.
Okay, I am going to grab it and dash it to the fucking rocks.
Okay,
we're not in line of sight right at the
moment. I want you to roll a dexterity check. Okay. So you got a 10. They get 13. The weasel moves out of the way before you can, gets up onto your shoulder, jumps off your shoulder, and runs towards the little gnome girl.
Okay, but he doesn't have my. He has not successfully removed my arcane focus.
No, but the leather is now frayed some.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna let the weasel take off though, but I will remember that, and I am going to essentially try to see if I can do anything to repair the strap or like replace it if there's any like leather that I can cut a piece off of, at the campsite.
Okay, so you're gonna do a search for some leather pieces in the campsite?
Yeah, to just try to repair that.
Okay.
So Jonna just kind of reflectively jerks back a bit as the rodent comes streaking in for the kid, but then relaxes when it's okay. It's not attacking. They're owner and pet. They're good.
Yeah.
Okay, calm down.
So the little girl opens up her arms and goes, Tuki! And holds it, and they're sort of playing around. So the beast mage turns to you and goes, oh yeah, I forgot to mention to you, weasels are notorious for trying to steal things that they're interested in.
Good to know for the future.
Yeah. Okay. So since the last person to say anything of what they're trying to do, I want you, Tuki,
Yeah, that's
Toki.
Jonna will remember this.
So, Toki, I want you to roll a perception and scene.
That's not a great roll.
No, you are unable to find anything leather that's of the thickness of what you're looking.
Okay.
So, what do you guys want to do now?
All right, so I pass on the information to everyone else. Let them know that. Oh, actually, how long were we traveling from the city?
It's starting to get dusk.
Okay, so we're basically about a half day's travel away.
About that.
And so this happened, well, over a day and a half ago. And the people who ran probably should have heard something about this popping up. Like guards getting mobilized, something like that. And we don't remember any sort of flurry things, nothing else coming on. The first that we'd heard about any sort of animal attacks was the farmer coming in with the mission.
Yep, the goblin that you guys spoke to.
This, I kind of angling the words of, keep the kid out of the corner of the eye, so make sure nothing's happening over there, but having the discussion over further away, kind of hushed tones of, so if these people have had a day to run and try to get help, and they may have been hunted.
So, first off, Billy and Toki, do you guys join up with Joanna for this?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of huddle up, share information.
Yeah.
So everything I know about this, they know.
Yeah, so you guys all know that there were supposed to be 10 people in the group. Happened
Four
over
accounted
a
for.
day and a half ago. It's about half day's travel to the city that they were heading to. And, you know,
Yeah, someone should have made it back by then.
Do I remember any like farms in the area or anything like that that we may have passed by? Because we might need a some sort of wagon and a some sort of animal like a horse or something to drag the remains back to city or something.
in the outskirts of the city, there is some farmland before it turns into forest.
So how far away would that be from where we are?
You're talking probably it'd take you 2/3 of the time to get to the farmland area that would to compared to the city.
Yeah, but if it's also
Okay.
getting dark, we probably can't head out right now. Not unless we want to travel at night, and we know these woods aren't safe now.
Mm-hmm.
Also gonna bring in, like, make sure like the farmer and the beast mage are in on this, and let the farmer know it's like, okay, I know that we have the mission for a year, but we have a kid missing people right here as well. This is probably going to take at least another day before we can get there. Can your village hold out that long?
The goblin looks at you and goes, "Family's very important. We need to take care of family first."
Wait, I couldn't. For you yourself, you're kind of getting a little bit muffled on the mic. I couldn't make out what the first part of that was. Something was very important.
He's what he said. I'll do it not in the voice. He said, "Family is very important. Family comes first."
Okay, so he seems cool with a necessary detour here. I'm assuming.
You
Just
can
make sure
assume
that
all
I
you
myself-
want.
No, granted, it's not necessarily his family that we're dealing with at the moment. So, and that is definitely a statement that John agrees with the family being important. All right, so we're gonna need. I think first we're probably gonna need to set up some camp here, and then in first light we need to start making some arrangements to survivors of this attack, and what we can do as far as the village is concerned, because we've got some conflicting priorities here.
Yeah, because I don't know. Are we going to want to at some point follow the dragging trail? Where it ends. Also, I mean, I don't necessarily want to steal this girl's people's stuff, but we should probably at least gather up, salvage the salvageable stuff, and then see which of it she wants to take or
like
or
wrap the
claim.
bodies and what's available on there, so it's not completely horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want to avoid, just things like coyotes or foxes starting or ravens coming and just feasting on the corpses here and making more of a mess. But on the other hand, as you said, darkness is coming on. We don't want to leave ourselves hanging around and becoming targets either for whatever animals attack this group.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't necessarily want to sleep at the site of this massacre.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You guys will all be fine. I'm sure none of you will have nightmares.
I'm just thinking that we already knew that rat was some way following us. So whoever is involved in this is probably involved with that rat, which means they're already expecting us to be around in the forest. So they're probably looking for an opportunity to attack us.
Okay, so how you guys want to handle this whole entire situation?
Again, I think my priority is just gathering up whatever equipment or valuables or salvageable rations, things like that, and
Okay.
then allowing the girl to claim like whatever stuff belongs to
Okay.
her or her family or whatever, and then
So for
Do you have an like
Toki,
who got dragged away?
okay, say that again.
You have an idea of who got dragged away?
You guys know that there is one person that got dragged away. That's the only trail that you have is of one person.
but do we know who that person was in relation to the rest of the group?
No.
Just one of the random people. Okay.
Does the girl have any idea of like who's missing? Or you're not going to cover that with her?
She has no idea. She spent the whole entire time hiding in that bush.
Mm-hmm.
So
she basically just knows, and
yeah,
probably don't want to make her identify what's left of the bodies at this point right now.
yeah, because the girl's about 9-10 years old.
Yeah.
So Toki, go ahead and put your character in the campsite area because you're gathering all of the belongings and stuff like that. So that means that you're gathering, like, rolling up this bedroll, grabbing this backpack, probably this water container, things like that. And you can just set your character there. And so while Toki's doing that, Joanna, what are you going to do? Or John, sorry. I keep on saying Joanna. I don't know why. I'm adding that O in there or that H.
That's probably a little bit easier to pronounce that way, but
yeah,
even if it's inaccurate. Anyway. Basically standard, again, effect. So if Billy's basically watching over the camp, John is basically all right, keep an eye on the kid, try and figure out how to balance all this stuff. So her mind's kind of run in circles a bit on here, but she's also like keeping an eye on the sky, figuring out just how much time we've got left for all this. So she's trying to plan things and is just mentally scrambling while trying to remain looking calm.
Okay.
Overthinking very badly.
So do a willpower check for me.
I actually have decent points in that.
Yeah, if you have did you have a morale?
No.
No, okay. So you're trying, but you're not succeeding very well. And the little kid asks, "What's wrong?"
I mean, talking it out will help. Kind of passes through her mind there. She kind of sits down, again, tries to look calm, still failing. And like, but Goblin Fellow there, our main mission was to go help his village, which is still a couple days further down the road to here. But now that we know that you're here and your people are in trouble right in front of us, we need to make sure that we can get you and find everyone else who survived and get you back to the town. But we also have a contract. We have an obligation of honor that we still have to fulfill as well, that this takes away from. And it's balancing things is a difficult thing adults have to do. This guy. Let's lose a little bit of just how overwhelmed she is at the moment. Which probably isn't particularly reassuring for the kid, honestly. But kid asked, she answered.
Yep. Give me a moment here. Oh, that's why. She just looks at you with these very wise looking eyes and goes, well, why don't you just take me back to town? Get others to help out with this situation. You guys can go back on your mission.
You know, that really is the obvious solution, isn't it, here?
Yep. And don't worry, I actually, what took me so long in saying that is I actually did a roll on it to see how she was going to respond. And I set a challenge, and trust me, she hit right on the mark of the challenge number that was needed. So
if we are going to head back the direction of the town, I mean, part of me feels like, because if it looks like this dragging trail is running parallel to the path, at least for the time being, like we may as well just follow the dragging path when we start heading back to town, see what we can see, rather than walking the actual path, the actual road.
Counterpoint, we've also got a... Honestly, I think the mage probably counts as non-combatant as well here. So we've got 3 people who, at least in theory, can fight. 1 who we're certain of, and 2 who are hopefully at least somewhat decent. And basically 3 non-combatants. If we follow the trail, we're almost certainly headed in towards trouble. Whereas if we take the road, we have a chance to avoid it.
The bestiary mage pops up and goes, 3 non-combatants? What do you mean non-combatants? This staff isn't for spellcasting. This staff I carry is my weapon.
Oh, my apologies. It did sound like you were more scholastically focused and still in your studies at the moment, but if...
Well, yeah, I said
ready.
I was in my studies, but studies means more than just mental learning. It can also be physical learning, too.
Besides, I mean, if you look at what's happened here, I mean, why didn't the animals drag off any of these other dead bodies? They only dragged off the one person, so that person may be alive, so we may have somebody beyond the girl to rescue.
All right. Fair point then. So the only question is, do we try to head now, or do we try and wait for the light?
I can see in the dark. Can't you?
Unfortunately not. It would be quite handy, but not something I've been gifted with.
Well, how much time do we have until it is like full on? Like, how much more light do we have?
You have about probably an hour and a half left of light. Of natural light.
Well, yeah. Well, I think, and again, I don't want to sleep where all these people got killed in the first place, but I don't know. In my mind, I think if we like followed the dragging path, like, or at least if we kind of like walked between it and the main road, and followed it a little bit, and then ended up like posting up camp, like literally on the road, or just like right off the road. Just put some space between us and this place, and to try to see if we can, because I don't know how long the drag path and the road actually run parallel, and I'd like to at least see where they like kind of diverge.
Do you at least want to check where, if you look up where the trail is? So you got the path, and then you got the yellow line that I have. When that yellow line leaves the map area, it continues on that direction.
Yeah, and that's what I figured, but like I just don't know for how long. Like, will it continue to run parallel to the road?
Well, it's not.
So basically, it's going straight west, and we're needing to go north if we're going back to the city.
Yep.
So this is the point where it diverges.
I see what you mean. Okay, because just the general waviness of both of them, I was kind of drawing a line through the wave rather than like the actual. Yeah, I was saying that a little less literal. So
when I drew this, I used my painting skills to draw the ground stuff.
mhm. Okay. So yeah, I base all I care about is getting the hell away from this spot once we've gathered everything up, and we can put an hour between us and here, and then still have a half hour of light to set up camp. That's fine. If we want to stick to the road, that's fine.
Okay, so the decision, who wants to be the decision maker on whether you guys leave now or set up a camp somewhere?
I say we go now. I mean, I'm good with it.
Okay, so we got one vote for go now.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll be relying on you. And that came off a little more harshly than I intended on there. It's more cheerfully and supportive version of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we'll march out and sounds like we're following the trail. Well, for about an hour or so.
Hold on one moment here. Toki, I want you to roll a 2d6.
2d6.
Mm-hmm.
Six.
6 items. Okay. Now I want you to roll a 1d6. You're trying to get an even. Excellent.
4.
Okay. Excellent. That works out. Just information I needed.
Okay.
And you're using him to seal our doom. I see how it is.
Oh, and I want to make it clear that when I was gathering stuff up, 100% snatch that silver pendant. If the girl wants it, that's fine, but I just wanted to make sure that that was included.
Okay, so you make sure to grab the silver pendant also. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. You got the silver pendant. And this had nothing to do with the silver pendant, so.
Okay, I thought that I thought this was like all the stuff I was able to gather up. You know, that was.
It deals with that, yes.
Okay.
The first roll was to deal with how much of the stuff you actually gathered up. The second roll was something a little bit more specific.
Okay.
I can't tell you guys that yet.
All right, so we ready?
You guys gonna head back to the city?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're gonna make it there in time. Like, right? We are gonna have to set up.
No, you're gonna have to walk through some of the night to get back to the city.
Okay. How many hours is it to the city? Because we agree that it's like 1.5 hours before like it's.
So
Actually dark, right?
it's 2/3 till you get to the farmlands. But overall, it's half a day, and right now we'll say it's summertime, so there's more daylight than there is nighttime. And so we'll say, and you only have an hour or two left of light. We're going to say that you're going to be traveling about 6 hours in the dark. Or not 6 hours. Yeah, about 6 hours in the dark.
All right.
Okay, so we are planning on hoofing it all the way back to the city rather than setting up camp.
Well, we should at least get as far as the farmlands.
Okay.
Again, we'll see where this trail leads.
Yeah, and so we're following the the drag path, not the actual road. So we probably aren't going directly towards the city.
Yeah, if you're following the drag path, you're not going towards the city. If you're following the dirt road that's just north of you guys on this map, then that will lead you back to the city.
Okay, yeah, I'm mildly confused because I thought I thought you guys argued that we should not take the drag path because we had like the girl and
yeah, I thought you guys were going the same direction, that you're heading back to the city.
Oh, I thought we were gonna, at least because I thought we said the drag path went something along parallel to the path towards the city.
It does slightly, but at the end of this map, you'll notice that the drag trail starts to go west, and the path to the city goes north, and that's where it branches off heavily.
Right. We might not be able to. I mean, if we don't go now, whoever was dragged away probably has very little chance of ever being rescued.
Yeah, which is a fair point. So, I mean,
on the other hand, he talks with dead things, so if they don't survive, I mean, I guess that's more and more thing he can talk to.
Yeah, when I can actually manage to pull it off with haven't yet. So,
all right. So, if we do still need a deciding vote on here, I'm saying we go for try to rescue the person who got dragged off at this point.
all right,
Okay.
I'm fine either way. So let's go ahead and follow the drag path then.
Okay,
Yep.
and so you're gonna have the little girl with you guys?
Yeah, she'll
I
get
would-
People here,
yeah,
so
I think marching order basically would essentially, hopefully, like leave her surrounded by us, basically, so she's
Okay.
not just gonna be taking up the rear.
Okay.
Yeah, keep her in a protected spot there.
So we don't have enough time to get into all of that kind of stuff. So we're going to call it an end here. This was all one sort of encounter thing.
Mhm.
So with that being said, let me look at my list here. And for the viewers, I'm going to pull the list over to the main screen so you guys can all see what I've created here. I basically pulled the list of stuff for everything, and over here I have everything broken down to threat levels and stuff like that, treasures, and then experience. So for this whole entire encounter, some of the stuff was difficult, some of the stuff was easy, so I'm going to give it an average. So you're all going to get 250 experience points.
So that pops us all up to 550 to start with here.
So, just like I did last time, I want to do some shout outs, and we'll go round robin. We will start with Jana.
Yes. I was trying to think of on here, and kind of thing where on the one hand, yes, we all did a whole bunch of stuff, but we also didn't accomplish nearly as much as we did last time either.
It doesn't have to be what was accomplished. Yeah. It can be how someone role played. It could be someone's idea on trying something. It could be something epically cool that was done. It's all your choice of something that someone did that interested you, and you went, hey, that was cool, and you want to congratulate them on.
Yeah, I'd say let's go with Toki for, even though we didn't get a good enough role to be able to speak with the dead, probably caravan leader, trader master, whatever. If the role had gone better, it would have been an interesting encounter. So thank you for trying that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish that role would have been better.
So, Toki, your turn. Who do you want to
I mean, it may not have, felt like the most exciting thing at all, but Billy being on guard duty felt very in character. So I think I'm going to go with Billy.
Okay. And Billy.
I gotta say that Jono was rolling hot with the stun points. I mean, I did think that Toki was trying to speak with Dead, and I was looking forward to seeing that happen. I was kind of disappointed that he didn't push for the result, but but we got the information anyways out of the girl, and again, Toki and Jono worked both on that. So, but I'd have to say that Jono and the number of stump points she generated was just pretty insane.
Yeah,
I was.
I 100% agree with you guys on that. So you're all going to add 50 experience points.
All right, thank you.
So I was hoping for some more encounters to happen. So we'll try this again in the next episode in trying to do it per encounter. So it's basically when new things happen, when it's sort of a change up in action. I will let you know I did have things planned in case one of you guys decided to attack the bush or what was in the bag. I had that side of things prepped and ready. And I'm telling you now, if Toki and Joanna, you guys remember John, who's the pen paper guy when we all worked together, right? This is sort of a nod to him and what he did to me, but I did things differently and things turned out way different.
Oh, that thing with the goat?
Yes. So for those of you that don't know, it was my first time playing Fantasy Age. And I was playing guard duty. And I heard a rustling in the bushes. And we were dealing with a bunch of monsters attacking us every so often randomly. So I threw a dagger into the bush and my character accidentally killed a goat. And so for the whole entire campaign, the other players would not let me live down the taking out of a goat. So I started pulling the same type of things in a couple of ways with you guys. So anyways, that's all done. Was hoping for some actual combat in some of the situations that you guys were dealing with, depending on how you handled it and how you rolled it. There could have been some combat situations in this, just to let you know.
All right.
But with how you guys chose to handle things and the way you guys were rolling, the combat part of it did not come through.
It's probably just as well as the whole Spike the Ferret thing didn't roll in your favor there. We don't need a more traumatized kid along.
Well, it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Don't touch my arcane focus. That's my grandfather.
I'll tell you now, with that roll, all that was going to happen was it was going to nab it off your neck, run it to the little girl, and present it to the little girl as a gift. That's all it was going to do.
Yep. But hopefully it will not try to do that in the future. Because he'll get on that. He's still going to try to smash him if he tries.
Hey, it made you act in an interesting way. And this is if you would have caught him and done that, then there would have been some combat.
Yeah, it's kind of sucking into my breath while you're making that roll there. This could be bad.
That was one of those points where it was sort of, it would have been almost like the goat incident, but not quite. But because he failed the dexterity roll, because I rolled against, and the ferret's dexterity outbeat your dexterity roll, and that was the only reason.
There is one little, not necessarily a quibble, but it'd be nice to get some clarification, because the weasel was able to get onto me without me being able to contest that roll, but then when I tried to grab the weasel, he was able to contest that roll. And so I'm wondering, like, what are the circumstances in which we have like a simple roll versus a contested action?
Okay,
like that?
so that kind of thing I saw it as more of an initiative thing. So when you do a surprise attack, unexpected, you're first in the lineup of initiative, guaranteed. And that's why, because you weren't expecting, you were too busy putting him back in and closing the top, and he was being so friendly, you weren't expecting him to jump back out and jump onto you.
Got it. Okay.
Because you don't know how ferrets act, and that's the only reason it was uncontested. If you would have had the knowledge of animals, then you would have known, okay, I need to keep my eye on this ferret, and then that's where there would have been a dexterity challenge at that point.
Okay.
And because the ferret was already on you, nibbling on it, and you were going to grab it, that's where the dexterity came in. Are you able to grab it before it can move out of the way, noticing you?
Okay.
That's the reason I chose that direction. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I wasn't sure if there was something, because different systems have different rules. I wasn't sure if that was just a DM call, which is fine, or if there was some kind of defined thing in the rules that I should be aware of.
There's no defined thing in the rules on a situation like that. It was just a DM decision that I made. I thought to myself, this is more of an initiative. It's jumping at you and you're unaware of it, ready to jump. So therefore, that's why it gets the automatic initiation. Just need to make the roll, and the roll was to actually see if it was able to, in one swift jump and nab, get the pendant off of you, but it didn't quite make the succeed. And it was just barely that it didn't make the success. So that's where I was like, okay, it's jump. But then in the process of trying to nab it off you, wasn't able to chew through, bite down quick enough and hard enough, and that's where it failed. And that's why you were able to keep the necklace on you instead. If it would have succeeded, it would have bit in good enough and snapped it off and ran off with it. So I made a slight fail without a major fail. So yeah, anytime you guys have questions or critiques that you'd like to give on the way I'm GMing, let me know. We can talk them out like and stuff like that, just like I did. I'm open to that. Because talking out, you can see how I'm doing my GMing and how my reasoning is coming into these things. And if you see a better way, you can let me know, and that makes me a better GM. Same with critiquing me. I don't take offense to it unless you guys are being bluntly rude about it. I take it as a way you guys are just trying to make me a better GM. Pure and simple. So discussions like this, as you saw, I didn't get upset. I just mentioned why I made that decision and made sure you were okay with it.
Yep.
Because the only person in this group I've really pen paper role played with is Jana. The two of you guys I've never role played with. I've known Toki for a really long time because we worked together. And I've known, Billy for a while because you've been in this community for quite some time. And other than that, that's all we know, anyways, I want to thank you guys all for watching. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let's keep our fingers crossed that we get some actual action next week. I want to see some combat. So
right, next people.
Yep.
So
everyone
next week.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've got a friend who is having a birthday party next Friday. I don't think it will interfere with the game.
Okay.
but I need to get more details. I'm hoping that I can just bail at 8 and then head over there. I just need to clarify, but there is potential conflict for me there, but I don't think it should be a problem.
Just text me or DM me in Discord, letting me know when you find out more details. If you're unable to make it, I will let the others know.
Okay.
And we'll just skip that week if need be. So Joanna and Billy, if you guys do not hear from me before next Friday, just assume that the game is going on.
Yeah, I mean, if it sounds like if it's going to be at 8, we can just put it a little bit earlier if we need to.
And we could always just do like how long is it going to take you to travel to the party?
Only like 20 minutes. And the thing is, it's one of those things where essentially it is at a bar.
Oh, okay.
And I know that they are meeting there at 6. But the thing is that I'm 99% certain that they will still be at that bar until like 10.
Okay.
So like it's not that big of a deal if I leave here at 8 because I don't need to spend 4 hours at the bar. And so if I left here at 8, hung out with them for hour and a half to 2 hours, like that would be fine. I have done my birthday friend duty. So
okay, just keep me informed. Let me know.
Will do.
And everyone have a good night.
Night all.
Okay. Here. So we're okay.